Hello and welcome to this conversation with Mr. Raman. And Raman sir and I have been sort of talking about the team for the Olympics for a while now. And he was head coach for the Commonwealth Games and the World Championships. And of course, we have seen Raman sir at the Asian Games as well as one of our coaches. Raman sir, I will directly dive into the issue. I mean, the selections have raised a few eyebrows. As far as I am concerned, this is a sport that I used to play as a kid. So this is a sport that is very close to my heart. I mean, my first competitive sport. No Ayhika Mukherjee, despite beating world ranking #1 couple of months back. And I'm not questioning Archana Kamath, but no Ayhika Mukherjee in the team along with Manika Batra and Shrija. Your first thoughts if you want to really be candid and open up on this?
Yeah, first of all, good morning, Mr. Boria. Nice to hear from you. And nice to hear that you play table tennis and you keenly follow the sport. Coming to this selection and non-selection rather of Ayhika, yes, it definitely is something that I think probably Indian women's team would dearly miss. And I'm not batting for Ayhika over any other player, but going by pure complexity that she brings on the table. And I don't have to bat for Ayhika. I mean her performance, especially beating Suningsha. Suningsha is like the unbeatable player in women's table tennis. Nobody can dare to go near her, and that's the kind of game and aura she has right now. Okay, she might have lost to her own teammates, Chinese, but nobody can dare to go near her. She's so strong, technically so strong as a player, and to beat her, I don't know when was the last time, as a matter of fact, any Indian has beaten a former world number
World number
current
one.
world number 1, world number 2 of that high rank. Okay, I don't know if my memory serves me right. I could stand corrected, but I think the last time when an Indian beat a top Chinese current world rank player would be, I think, Chetan Babur, who was my contemporary, who beat the world champion and Olympic champion Li Guoliang. And after that, I don't think male or female player, world number 1s, 2s, or in the top 10 or top 5, I don't think any Indian, male or female.
Manika last week, Wang Manu.
Exactly. So here you go. Ayhika set the tone, and then Shrija beat another world top player, in the World Team Championship, and to be going up 2-1 at the turn of 3 matches is a phenomenal achievement. And not only that, after that, now Manika was obviously beaten Wang Manu, which is a great win indeed. So even if you reflect on the World Team Championship that was up for selection for the Olympic team qualification, Indian women team did very well for themselves. And it was led by Manika, Shrija, and then Ayhika as a third player. And, they beat Hungary, Spain, Italy. They were all very good teams. And they had a tough draw, to say the least, compared to the men. Men had a reasonably very, very easy draw, very lucky draw in the round of 32 to play Kazakhstan, the team that we have always beaten. Though we had some hiccups, but we still beat them. So, thankfully, they saved the day for Team India. But women did very well in the team championship, and these were the 3 key players who did well. And we're not talking about last year. This all happened in February.
2 months. Yeah,
so,
2 months.
So when you have the players who have shown results and who have got you selected for the first ever time to a team championship at the Olympics, I mean, okay, you might have a selection policy, you might have criterias, but if you're just going by numbers, I'm sorry, I think then an accountant can do a job. You don't need a selector for that.
Huge words, Mr. Raman. You just said accountant can do a job. You don't need selectors for that. So clearly that tells you the disappointment coming through or the passion as well coming through. I mean, do you now think that this can actually, because in my book, the Indian women's team was actually a dark horse. They had a
Yeah.
chance given Shrija and Manika's form and Ayhika's efforts. But do you think this has now dented this kind of balance, and we actually have sort of shot ourselves in the foot?
Yeah, certainly, it is a dent of sorts, in the sense that when you have a unit that is cohesive, that is combining well, and I talk about any team game, you need the right combination, and if that combination is working well, then you route for that. You wouldn't want to you know uh, twiddle with that. And that said, Aika has done well, and she has beaten such a strong player, and some other matches also that she has won in the World Team Championship and in the Asian Games. Partnering Sudhita, she has won a bronze medal, the only medal that India won in the Asian Games. So there has been a very strong run of performance. And mind you, me, Archana, is not definitely a run in the mill player. She's also a good player, no doubt. So it's not that it's about Archana over Aika or Aika over Archana. But
It is
I'm
about
only
the best team. No, Mr. Raman, I want to make this very clear. Neither you nor I, we don't have an agenda here. No agenda.
Exactly.
It is
Exactly.
about the
I
Indian
put
team.
Team India first.
Exactly.
And
It is about the
I put
tricolor.
Indian team performance first.
Correct.
So
It is about
in
the
that sense,
tricolor. And in that
yeah,
sense, whether it is A
exactly.
player or B player doesn't matter. It is the best
Exactly.
team that matters. And in that sense, I asked you the question about Ayhika. Let me go to
Yeah.
men. No
Yeah.
Sathiyan. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I have no problems with Manav. Absolutely not. I mean, Manav, why should anybody have an issue? But in a high pressure situation, when I see what Manav has won for India and what Sathiyan has done, the selection raises eyebrows. Your thoughts on that?
Well, Sathiyan is a proven pedigree. I mean, if India is well placed in the men team, talk about the era before Sathiyan. Only Sharath was a lone top paddler. And he didn't have the team. He didn't have the team. He didn't have any other player to come along with him. And that was always been the case with the Indian table tennis team. And then when Chetan Babur was there, he was far ahead of all of us. But he didn't have a second player to support him. And that includes me too. That includes many of them who are in the Indian team. And talk about Kamlesh Mehta. He was a great player. He had some good wins over top European players, Chinese players, but he didn't have this, the second players who can back him, who can support him, and win big matches. So after Sathiyan emerged as a top player in the country, in the world of table tennis, as we speak, he also achieved his highest world ranking of 24. Last month he won his fourth title. He won a feeder tournament title. In fact, he beat the likes of Manav and Harmeet. So given his level of game, definitely he is not at his best, at his prime. But such good players will automatically raise the bar when it comes to the moment. And even talking about the Olympic qualification in the World Championship, they played Manav against Poland, and Manav couldn't do anything. He lost, and then they had to go back to Sathiyan. And we beat Kazakhstan, which was the most important match for the Olympic qualification. Sharath won 1, Harmeet won 1, and Sathiyan won 1. Now, if these three players are the players who have qualified you for the Olympics, and mind you, it was not like they qualified you 1 year back, and now the form has slumped. What is the world ranking of Harmeet or Manav or Sathiyan? All three are in the 60s. And before the Saudi smash, all three were in 60s, while Sathiyan was ahead of them. So just one round, going ahead of Sathiyan in Saudi smash made this difference. And Sathiyan played a good player in Isaac Quet, who has beaten all the Indian players. He was a very promising player. Yes, rankings are there, but if you're talking about somebody who's ahead of Sathiyan by 20 places, yeah, Sharath Kamal, yes, he's clearly ahead of him, so he deserves to be there in the team, no doubt. But you're talking about three players who are in the 60s. Out of them, Sathiyan stands out as the clearly a proven pedigree, was won medals for India, Asian Games medal, Commonwealth Games. He's the main team player, supporting the team. And of course, he had the support. I was the chief national coach, and he won the team matches. He won the doubles matches, and he contributed huge.
I was there. I was there when you all won in Birmingham, Mr. Raman. You remember we were there in the hall when these matches were going on, and one remembers Sathiyan's contribution to the team cause. This is what I wanted to understand, because look, we as journalists who have followed the sport, but coming from you, one of our coaches at the Asian Games, national head coach during the Commonwealth and World Championships, this selection has raised quite a few eyebrows, and I know
it's not about class over form. Form is also there. It is not that the other two players are far ahead of the form. You talk about Ayhika. I mean, she's probably 30 players behind Archana. Credit to Archana that she is ranked where she is. But, if you're 100 and 130, it hardly makes a difference. Because between 100 and 130, anyway, it's not a very high world ranking. But if you're talking about...
And that is why in shooting this time round, we had the Olympic qualifiers, so that the top four could actually battle it out. Between 100 and 130, it's not between 1 and 10. It is not between 1 and 20. We all know sport. We followed
it's not
sport
even,
for the last years.
It's not even between 30 and 60. 30 and 60 is a huge difference. To be in the 30s and to be in the 60s. It's a huge, 60s is a very, very ordinary ranking, in my view, in today's context. And mind you, all these three players, Indian players, barring Sharath, are in the 60s. So you have to go by who can deliver for you. And if you have a match where one match can make a difference, can give a good start, obviously, it's with a blind eye, one can say that, Sathiyan is a better bet. But, selectors or the federation, because of their, policy, the selection policy, they might have the challenges. But that's where, experts need to pitch in and say, no, we have to bat for Team India. It's not about batting for one individual or the other. Right? And if you just go by numbers, then, as I said, any accountant can do the job. You don't need a selector.
I'll end there, Mr. Raman. I know you've got to travel. You're with family and you're on a holiday. But I appreciate you taking the time out. And again, let me put this very bluntly. This is not about an individual. This is about the country. And we are both talking about what could have been India's best team at Paris 2024.
Yes.
I appreciate you being candid, because
we could be in a better spot because we continue with the same team. So there is a lot of team bonding that has already been built in over the last few months, and that team has helped to qualify for the Olympics. So, give fair, due to the team that helped the, team qualify for the Olympics. Give them their fair credit and what they deserve, and go and enter the Olympics. And mind you, Manav, very good for him. He has improved his world ranking, but he has not won any good team match for India till date.
I'll end there.
And he has not had even a top 30 win till date. He has not had one top 30 win till date. Whereas a Harmeet or a Sathiyan or a Sharath have had many wins.
Serious questions raised by Mr. Raman. And these are questions that are about national interest and India's team at Paris 2024 games. I leave it at that. With our viewers,
technically, Sathiyan is also going. He's not going as a reserve player. He's going as a playing member, and that certificate is issued as an Olympic player. So, it hardly matters for him because he's not going as a reserve player. But it matters for Team India and the performance. To have a pedigree player who has beaten the top players in the world, it makes a huge difference. And if you get a good draw, you never know where we can land up. And one win could spur the momentum, and from there on, anybody can, become a top-ranked team and go on to the semi-final, because we directly enter and play the pre-quarter final. So
I'll end there. This has been a very eye-opening interview for me. Serious questions have been asked. I hope we get some answers from the federation or the selection committee, because these questions are being asked with nothing but national interest in mind. And I put this point absolutely clearly. I don't know Manav. I don't know Archana personally. So neither Mr. Raman nor I have any agenda. We are all asking these questions based on the selection that has happened yesterday. And we hope that we will get some clarifications, because it's our job to ask these questions. And as he said, if you are just going by numbers, then an accountant could have done the selection. And frankly, if you take the shooting discipline, they are now having their 4 trials. And we are seeing quite a few flip because it's on form. And in this case, that has not happened. Had we hampered India's chances at the Paris 2024 Games? I leave our viewers with that.
Only time will tell.
Thank you very much.
Only time will tell, Boria. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.